The Lord is our shepherd, I shall not want. Him maketh I like down in a green pastures. Him leadeth I beside still water. Them him restored I soul. Him leadeth I in the path of righteousness for him name's sake. Yea! Though I Rasta go walk through the valley of the shadow of death, I can't fear no evil. For thy rod and thy staff them comforted I and I. Uno prepareth a table before I. In the presence of our enemy, them uno anointed I head with uno oil. My cup runneth over. Surely goodness and mercy I go follow I all the days of I Ivan. May I go dwell in the house of the Lord God. Ja, kadama we groma beya tela exag beer tana istalina bashante shante shante shante. This is the Black Pot, aka COCOBOD, where we speak truth to power. And my name, Black Rasta. Now, in every traditional African home, there is a black pot, and each time this black pot sits on the fire, there's something super sumptuous cooking. Ingredients of so many different types, shapes, and sizes, aromas, and even flavors. Put aside all their differences and relocate into the black pot, where they are subjected to some good amount of heating. In the aftermath, they produce food. Food that is not even enjoyed by them, but by us, the eaters. Yet every time, the black pot and the ingredients will rise to the occasion to produce food. What lesson can we derive from this? The lesson of selflessness, a lesson of generational thinking, and a lesson of sacrifice. Any nation that does not have these ingredients of patriotism is a failed nation. In our country, Ghana, we are near a failed nation because sacrifice is very little. In fact, there is no selflessness, it's all selfishness. Government workers are reducing their ages so they can stay there, obsolete for so long. They deny the stronger ones of getting in there. And once the stronger ones finally get in there, maybe after the demise of the old ones, they also backtrack their ages so they can serve longer. At the end of the day, it's Mother Ghana that suffers. My brother, my sister, in a nation where there's no generational thinking, we are too selfish to think about generations yet to come. We have gold, let's exploit it all. We have diamond, let's exploit it all. Without thinking about the wonderful generation yet to come. Yet we are a very much sex-loving nation. We love to have sex. We love to make children. Yet we are not planning for the children. How are we keeping our flora and fauna? Are we preserving our flora and fauna? Are we preserving the wild? In a few years to come, we may just have to show pictures of some animals to our children because they would have gone totally extinct. That is why there's the need for selflessness, there's the need for generational thinking, and there's the need for sacrifice. My brother, my sister, I live in a nation where we eat almost everything, right from worms, all the way down to the excreta of grass cutters, all the way down to grass cutters, and even cockroaches and lizards and frogs and dogs. We eat everything. Yet, my brother, my sister, we do not have a common sense of rejuvenation. Whilst we exploit all these things, how do we rejuvenate this? We don't think about that. We destroy the flora and fauna without any plan to replenish this. That is why this show is here. It's called the Black Pot, aka COCOBOD, where all the action takes place. We are preparing a sumptuous food, a sumptuous meal for the nation. And that is the voice of the people. The voice of the people is the voice of God. Here we don't criticize. All we do is to admonish our citizenry. And if you ever hear us criticize, then we are doing it on one condition: to build and never ever to destroy. This is the Black Port. And then the core of this show is patriotism. I am most excited to be with you. We are live on YouTube. Our YouTube channel is Blakk Empire Media. If you haven't subscribed to this channel yet, then you are losing out. Please do right now. Spend 1 second to click on the subscription button and hit on the notification bell so that each time we are on, you would be the first person to be alerted to watch us. This is the biggest Pan-Africanist show on the whole continent of Africa, and we are excited to be with you. This is Blakk Empire Media, and we are going on a 16 regional tour of Ghana. We're going to all the regions of Ghana, the traditional 10 regions and the present 16 regions. What are we going there to do? We're going to be speaking to students about patriotism. In our days, we studied civics. In our days, we also had courtesy for boys and girls. It was by force to have that and read that. Today, no, we've lost all the morals. Today, all the patriotic songs have been forgotten. Many people cannot even recite the national pledge, let alone the national anthem. Please, it is important to instill into our citizenry a sense of patriotism. So we're going to be talking to the students. Everywhere we go, we'll find a vantage point where we'll speak with the students in the area. And then in the evening, we'll put up a mini concert to entertain the people of the area and take the opportunity to talk to them about patriotism. Imagine moving from Accra to all these 16 regions with no official sponsor. My brother, my sister, it's not going to be easy. We have been endorsed by the GTA, Ghana Tourism Authority, and they have donated some amount of money to us to help with the movement. My brother, my sister, we received 20,000 Ghana cedis from the GTA, Ghana Tourism Authority. You bear with me that this cannot even take us to one region. That is the Upper West region. Transportation and all that. It won't be able to bear that. And we want to be able to speak with the students. And after that, we will refresh them. Yes, we have to refresh them. Give them something to eat, something to drink. Now, if you live in any of these areas and you have a hotel that can accommodate us, please get in contact with us. We are happy to come and lodge there for a day. And if you can feed us also, we are happy for you to feed these students who are going to be coming for this very important patriotism talk. Anything you can do to support. Maybe you want to donate to us some cash. Yesterday I checked and I saw people donating what they can. Some are donating 50 Ghana. That's the list that I saw. Some are donating 500 Ghana cedis and all that. We are happy. We are going to compile all the list of names, and that is going to be scrolling, and you will see that your money has never been misused. Some of you have not mentioned your names, but we will be able to send the name of the vendor from who you sent us the money. My brother, my sister, we want to be most accountable, and we want to be able to use every little penny that you send to us on this project. That is how we can say that we are truly patriotic. My brother, my sister, a lot of us speak about patriotism and speak against corruption, all because we have not been in a position to be corrupt. We have been poor all this while. So we claim that we are not corrupt, all because we have not been tempted enough. Now, when we start working and we start making money, that is when we see that we truly are corrupt. My brother, my sister, in all cases, we want to remain very, very discreet and very, very genuine to our motherland. This is the Black Port. Our numbers are scrolling on the screen. Please send us some Momo if you can. We will accept that. And if you are outside, you can also send us some money via SendWave. It is going to come easily, and we're going to be able to appreciate you and thank you. And then if you want to send it through the bank as well, we are most excited to receive that. We haven't really received anything in the bank yet, but I believe that you are on the way coming. We're starting on the 2nd of March, and that is going to be in Wa. Things are going to be happening. It's the Black Port, a.k.a. COCOBOD, where we speak truth to power. Come here, my youth. Today we have 6 very important things to look at, and we're going to be very brief on each one of them. Number 1, watch this. Is Ghana in secret cocoa importation? Now, over the weekend, so many Ghanaians were so disgruntled. They heard that the second largest producer and exporter of cocoa in the world, Ghana, is now buying cocoa beans. What happened? Is it true? Is it false? We chanced upon a letter that showed that Ghana is actually importing cocoa into the country. Where is it buying the cocoa from? Nigeria, La Côte d'Ivoire. Can we see that letter, please? That's the letter. And this is from Roxin Nelson da Fiamekpo. And he's a member of the opposition, NDC, and he's a member of parliament. He says, bombshell, Ghana is now buying cocoa from Côte d'Ivoire and Nigeria under this government. We are buying 3,500 tons from them in a letter dated 25th January 2024. Yet, we were told by this government 2022, led by Dr. Efri Yakoto, that they have doubled our cocoa production. The fundamentals are weak. And this is a copy of the letter. My brother, and when you read the letter, it is sad. What is happening to us? Is it true? Are we really importing cocoa into the country? Are we not the second largest producer and exporter of cocoa? Are we falling out of the race? Now remember that for some time now, galamsey, illegal mining, has depleted a lot of the land and destroyed a lot of cocoa farms. Cocoa farmers are finding it more lucrative to sell their lands to galamsey people and making money out of that to planting cocoa and allowing the cocoa to rise all the way to maturity. Again, Al Jazeera came out with a certain documentary that said that Ghana actually employs a lot of child labor on the cocoa farms. And the EU got angry and said, we are going to stop buying cocoa from Ghana if you do not stop this child labor and if you do not stop galamseying, because your cocoa is getting polluted. Remember, China came in immediately and said, oh, we have a clean version of the Ghana cocoa and we are planting it in China. The whole world was shocked how China was able to produce cocoa in a country like China. They use the greenhouse effect and much more. But if you are talking about galamsey, illegal mining, you can't take Chinese out. My brother, my sister, right now when you see Chinese people on the streets of Ghana, especially Accra, everybody points to galamsey. In the days when Chinese people were seen as kung fu people, yeah, and jumping and all that, those days are all gone. Now when we see Chinese people, all we think about in Ghana is these are the illegal miners. This is no racial teaching. It is absolutely practical. In my days when I was growing up as a little child, when I saw a Chinese man, I would run in front of him and go, pew, pew, yeah! You know, because we're watching Chinese films. And we love Chinese films. The same way we saw Indians and started singing, chili, 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 yane, chili, 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 like that. Today, when we see Chinese, it's all about galamsey and illegal mining. A lot of Chinese people have lost respect in this country, all because of galamsey. Anytime people are rounded up for illegal mining in Ghana and a Chinese man is absent, it means that they were not really galamseyers. True or false? To the point that the Chinese ambassador to Ghana had to respond. According to him, it is Ghanaians who are actually employing Chinese people to come and do this and directing them as to where they could find gold. We are not patriotic. The Chinese ambassador could not have been too wrong. We are the same people who go out and bring enemies of destruction into our country. Direct them to all the weaknesses of our land. And when they exploit that, we sit back and cry because we are daft. We don't have any common sense. The average Ghanaian is like a fowl. It wants to be fed every time. Once it is fed, it uses the beak on the ground. Bah, bah, bah. Proverbially, it means that, oh, I'm done with you. He will be hungry again and come after you. My brother, my sister, it is sad what is happening in Ghana. A few weeks ago, we were told that somewhere in the western region, there were cocoa trees that were producing how many cocoa pods? Did they say 5,000 cocoa pods or 10,000 cocoa pods? One tree. Remember, we carried it on this show. And we're wondering, what kind of trees are these? Are they hybrids? Is it magic? What really is it? But we did not want to sound so pessimistic. Today, we are importing cocoa in this country. Remember, we prophesied this a long time ago. But come here. The people have been talking. And what are they saying? They are saying, oh, we started importing cocoa into the country from 2001, 23 years ago. It's not a new thing. So I sit back and I ask myself, if you are the largest, in fact, the second largest producer of cocoa in the world, the second largest exporter of cocoa in the world, why do you export and go back and buy? It means that there's something wrong. Why don't you satisfy domestic needs before you export? Or do you just produce and export and go back chasing what you have exported to buy back? Does it make sense? But the government has been talking. Watch this. Now this one is coming from Ghana Web, and it says COCOBOD clarifies brouhaha on Ghana's buying cocoa from Cote d'Ivoire and Nigeria. Come here, my youth. Watch this. The management of the Ghana COCOBOD, has given a clarification on its letter permitting a private company, Afrotropic Cocoa Beans Processing Company Limited, to import 3,500 tons of cocoa beans from Cote d'Ivoire and Nigeria. Some factions of the public, including leading members of the opposition National Democratic Congress (NDC), were up in arms on social media, blasting the Nana Akufo-Addo government over the import of cocoa beans from Cote d'Ivoire and Nigeria, while reacting to the approval letter. In a statement cited by Ghana, where COCOBOD urged Ghanaians to disregard claims of the importation of cocoa beans into Ghana. And that it is an indication that the government has failed. According to the board, all cocoa processing companies in the country are permitted by law to import cocoa into the country. It added that process companies in Ghana often import cocoa beans to blend them with Ghana's premium cocoa beans. All processing companies in Ghana established post-November 2001 are permitted by law to import cocoa beans for processing in Ghana. The practice is to help the companies meet their designed recipes for chocolate production and other uses. Ghana's cocoa is a premium cocoa, and as part of cost management and operational strategy, companies often blend premium Ghana cocoa with less premium cocoa beans from other producing countries. Part of the statement is dated 4 February 2024. It added, it is an industry practice that has existed for over 20 years to allow factories to import from other countries, including Cote d'Ivoire, Togo, Nigeria, and Ecuador. Wow. Wow. Just wow. And this is the letter from the COCOBOD. And is trying to debunk all this. My brother, Ghana COCOBOD, to all media houses, Ghana COCOBOD addresses misinterpretation of official letter to Afrotropic Cocoa Processing Company Limited. Dash it away. Now come here. Watch this, brethren. I am saddened by this report. Yes, it's true that Ghana cocoa is the best, by the kind courtesy of the missionaries and Tetekwashi, who went all the way to bring us the best cocoa beans from Fernando Po, today called Dioko. My brother, Bioko in Equatorial Guinea used to be called Fernando Po, a beautiful island that had one of these most qualitative cocoa beans. Now, there is not even one cocoa plant standing in Bioko because of pollution emanating from oil, rigs, and so on and so forth. We are those who have the unique cocoa in the world. The Ivorian one cannot match ours. The Nigerian one cannot match the Ghana one. Thanks to the fertility of the soil and maybe the grading of the soil and much more. Maybe our ancestors and the blessing of the Most High God. Ghana yams are the best in the whole world. Anywhere you go in the world, America, England, everybody is crying for Ghana yam. Next is the Jamaican yellow yam. Our cocoa is the best. Our gold is the shiniest in the whole world. Such a small country, so blessed. And what is the COCOBOD saying? Oh, because our cocoa is so rich. What they do is that they import from other countries that are not so rich, and then they blend it with our rich cocoa so that they can meet their cost level. Now we are importing from the Ivory Coast. We are importing from Ecuador. We are importing from Nigeria. And what we are saying is that because their cocoa beans are not that qualitative, we have to import that to blend that with our rich cocoa before we can do something. My brother, when you live with people who don't have the foresight, they are myopic in their thinking, these are the kind of excuses you get. I don't care if it started even in 20 BC. What I care about is common sense. Now you are proud to say Ghana cocoa is the best in the whole world. And because it's so rich, we have to go to other countries and buy the poor ones and come and mix with ours. What stops you from producing cocoa from only Ghana cocoa beans to make it the richest cocoa in the world? Now the guy here is only talking about cost. He's not talking about quality. Listen. So that they can meet their cost. I would have endorsed it if it was said that, okay, as part of the recipe to produce cocoa to the standard that the world is looking for, Ghana cocoa alone is not fit to produce that. For that matter, we have to buy dirty ones from the rest of the countries to add to our very good cocoa and produce the standardized cocoa chocolate. But no, he said to meet cost. Would you not be happy to say that, okay, the way Ghana yams are hotcakes around the world, we also can say that, okay, now Ghana chocolate is the best chocolate in the world, and let the whole world come to Ghana and get the best golden poured chocolate. But no, you go to Nigeria and buy the so-called inferior beans. Go to Ecuador and buy the so-called inferior beans. Go to Cote d'Ivoire, buy the so-called inferior beans and come and add to your superior beans just to cut down cost. Does it make sense to you? But when you have people in power who are so silly and stupid with no common sense, this is what they will say. God has blessed you so much. The ancestors have done so much. The missionaries and Tetekwashi did so much to be able to get the best cocoa. And it is too rich for us. For that matter, let us pollute it a little bit so that we'll be called human beings because of cost. My brother, even a baby would understand that this is foolishness, absolutely. Tell me that as part of the recipe, Ghana cocoa alone is not good enough to produce chocolate. But no, they said to meet cost. Let us use our cocoa alone to produce our chocolate. Let the whole world get to know that because Ghana is the king of cocoa, we may not be producing so much like the Ivory Coast, but everybody knows that we have the most qualitative cocoa. We have the best cocoa in the world. Therefore, if they are looking for the best, they must come to Ghana. But if they are looking for the rest, they should go to the Ivory Coast and some other countries. But mediocre thinking. Daft people in power. People who have no sense of patriotism. People who are always satisfied with second best. They have never tried to strive to be number one. But God keeps blessing us every now and then. Our ancestors keep pushing every day. Look at this shameful press statement he released. Shameful press statement. And this is from my lecturer at the Kwame Nkrumah University of Science and Technology. Mr. Edu, he taught me. My brother, this is the man. No, sir, that was not how you taught us to think. You taught us to think like patriots. But this is gibberish. It is hogwash. It doesn't make sense. Now you were telling us that one cocoa tree in Ghana is able to produce how many thousands of pots? All of a sudden, it's too rich to make cocoa. Therefore, you have to get the polluted ones from all over, including Ecuador, to add to your cocoa. You can play all the gymnastic around. You can joke with the reality on the ground, but you cannot joke with Ghana. I'm so ashamed of the COCOBOD. You have treated farmers so badly. Now they carry their cocoa because they too are not very patriotic to sell to countries that don't even produce cocoa at all. Like Burkina Faso. They take some to Togo and some other such places. At the end of the day, we now have to chase them to buy back our own cocoa. And you come and play gymnastics with us, political gymnastics. Oh, actually, we are importing from the Ivory Coast because our cocoa is too rich, you know. If you use it for chocolate, our teeth will all rot. In fact, if you use it for chocolate, we will look too fresh. And because we don't want to look too fresh, because we don't want to be unique, we are always playing the second fiddle. It is so good for us to produce it. Was that what you promised us? That we will play second fiddle every time? That will never be the best. Strive to be the best. Wise people strive to be the best. Wise people want to make an impact. A unique impact. Wise people are not satisfied with second best. And unfortunately, this is what they are playing. But some people are calling for the sack of my former lecturer, Kwame Nkrumah University of Science and Technology. This man here is an MP. His unique hairstyle tells you that he wants the uniqueness for this country, right? What is he saying? Watch this. COCOBOD CEO must be fired if he authorized cocoa imports. And this is John Kwache. The director of research at the Institute of Economic Affairs, John Kwache, has said that the chief executive of the Ghana Cocoa Board must be hauled before Parliament and fired if he approved the import of cocoa from Cote d'Ivoire and Nigeria. He said the approval of the imports does not make sense when the country's cocoa processing firm, PBC, is currently struggling to operate. Did you hear that? PBC is now struggling to operate. Remember last week, there was a news item that said that a lot of these companies are now producing 30% capacity. Some have even closed down for the production of cocoa. You come and play gymnastics with us and tell us, oh, we actually have the cocoa, but the thing is that it is too rich, so we have to import to balance it and dilute the quality. What a joke. John Kwache wrote on X, if it is true that CEO of COCOBOD has authorized Afrotropic to import cocoa from Cote d'Ivoire and Nigeria to process locally, while PBC is being starved of funds to buy cocoa from Ghanaian farmers, he should be hauled before the Parliament and eventually fired by the President. The Vice President of Policy Think Tank, Imani Bright Simmons, had earlier noted that Ghana's main state-owned cocoa trader, is on the verge of bankruptcy. In January 2023, he hinted at the company's decision to reduce its staff population by 1/3 due to financial challenges. All this. My brother, cocoa processing firms in Ghana are closing down because they have no money to buy Ghana cocoa. It means Ghana cocoa is available. Yet, somebody has been given the go-ahead to go and buy from outside. And the answer is that, the reason is that they want inferior quality so they can mix it with the right quality in Ghana. Yet, cocoa producers in Ghana are still sitting with their cocoa, waiting for people to come and buy. So you see the nation we are in. I don't know who created us, but some of these guys were actually created by Satan. Nobody would convince me that it's God who created all of us. Satan created some people when God rested on the 7th day. It's sad. Hey, it should be one of the policies of the nation that any cocoa that is produced in this nation should entirely come from Ghana cocoa. That is branding. Common sense. Common sense. Any cocoa processing plant in Ghana should be made illegal to import cocoa from any other place to produce. It's branding. So that when we produce and we stamp on it, made in Ghana, processed in Ghana, whatever in Ghana, manufactured in Ghana, people are clamoring like bees around the hive for our cocoa, our chocolate. In my days, shoes from Italy, I don't know now. Because now I don't wear those shoes. Shoes from Italy were so qualitative. Everywhere we went, we were looking for shoes made in Italy. Shoes made in Ghana, Kumasi Kejetia, they will intentionally stamp on it, made in Italy. Italy was able to gain full notoriety over the production of shoes. When it comes to watches, everybody is running to Switzerland. How did they do that? Quality. Now we are importing inferior goods to dilute our cocoa and chocolate, and we think that we are wise. Are we not stupid? Dash it away, my youth. But some people are calling for the head of the man. And he must go. He has let the nation down. And I am so embarrassed. Hey! Dash it away, my youth. Oh. Now the next thing I would like to look at is coming up. And it's still about our cocoa. GRA roars mercilessly at COCOBOD. GRA roars mercilessly at COCOBOD. And this is the Ghana Revenue Authority. Remember, it is also embroiled in some SML controversy. Dirty controversy. We're told that the boss is overaged and he's still sitting down there benefiting so much, refusing to retire. I don't know what is happening to our nation. Yet Daniel Domlevo was kicked out of power when he had not even reached retirement yet. They forced him to accept a certain retirement age. And this man has gone more than 2 years over his retirement age. It's all politics in this nation. They will destroy the nation as long as they benefit personally. But they are stupid. They do not understand that when they bore holes in the ship, they will sink with the ship. My brother, you can be served the best food on the ship as long as you bore holes in the ship. When the ship is sinking, it sinks with you and those you have denied of good food. I'm speaking in parables. Write it down. You can deny people of good food on the ship. But as long as you bore holes in the ship, when the ship is sinking, it sinks with all of you. Yes, you can enjoy your food for the 5 minutes or 10 minutes. But when you are dying, you will all become food for fish. My brother, they don't seem to see this. This is the GRA boss on the right. He's 62 years plus, according to him. He's Reverend Amishadai. He's a reverend minister, a man of God. If you look at the benefits he's enjoying as the Ghana Revenue Authority boss, you will quack like a duck. You will roar like a lion. Now they are also running after COCOBOD. There's trouble. There's trouble in Babylon. Run it, my youth. Watch this. It says GRA auctioning COCOBOD's chemicals, fertilizers, others over 3.9 billion duty dispute. You know what that means? It means that COCOBOD has imported fertilizers, chemicals, and some other such things for cocoa production in Ghana. They are supposed to pay a certain duty amounting to about 3.9 billion Ghana cedis. But COCOBOD is unable to pay. For that matter, GRA is auctioning, selling the chemicals that the nation has used money to import and buy, selling it cheaply to people who want it. Hey, do you get it? Run the story. Watch this. In a shocking development, the Ghana COCOBOD finds itself in a dire financial situation as its agro products, essential for the upcoming cocoa season, are being auctioned due to a failure to pay a staggering 3.9 billion Ghana cedis in duty to the Ghana Revenue Authority. The development could have profound implications for the upcoming cocoa season, as the agrochemicals, fertilizers, and implements are vital for disease control, pest management, and overall yield enhancement in cocoa farming. The supply contracts, which were costs, insurance, and freight (CIF) to Tema, saw COCOBOD unable to fulfill payment obligations to suppliers, leading to the abandonment, underline the word, abandonment, of goods and subsequent auction by customs. The exorbitant duty demanded by GRA has rendered the goods unaffordable for both suppliers and COCOBOD. Dash it away. Oh, you are. COCOBOD has imported fertilizers, chemicals, and implements meant for cocoa production in Ghana. When it arrived at the Tema Harbor, CIF, so much, duty, so much. So, they decided that, well, to pay this exorbitant, these high amounts of duty, let's just abandon that. How much did we even buy these chemicals? They used the resources of Ghana to buy that. They threw that away. And the GRA is auctioning them. It doesn't matter if it is a Canadian who wants to buy. It doesn't matter if it's an Indian who is buying and taking to India. It doesn't matter if it's a Chinese who is buying. It doesn't matter if it's an Ecuadorian. It doesn't matter if it's somebody from Peru. It doesn't matter. They will sell. The most important thing is the cash. Who created us? Not the devil. Lucifer himself created us. Only God knows for how long the GRA boss has permitted this rot to go. Now he's also under pressure because the focus lenses are on him. Therefore, he has to crack the whip. And government institutions are falling victim to this. My God. I don't know how many Ghanaians understand what I'm talking about. We take the government's money, the people's money, import implements, chemicals, fertilizers for our cocoa season. When it arrives at the port, cocoa farmers are jubilating. We are going to get there and say, oh, duty, 3.9 billion. 3.9 billion Ghana cedis. Say, okay, we don't have the money. Keep it, take it. We don't want it again. They have lost the money. And now they are auctioning it. And you know how auction is. It goes to the highest bidder. If you bought the tin at 10,000 Ghana, the auctioneer will come and say, okay, somebody make a bid. And you say, I'll buy it for 200 Ghana. Say, but we bought, this thing is worth 10,000. Yes, but I want to buy it for 200. If nobody challenges this as to raising the bid, he will buy it at 200. You know how auctions are done. Who pays for the rest of the loss? The Republic of Ghana. Sometimes I wish this were in the days of Rawlins, so that we would hear the trigger being pulled and we hear the rattling of bullets coming out of the barrels of the gun. I'm glad we have passed those days, but sometimes we are tempted to think that some of us should be sent back to hell, guilty as charged. That should away my youth. Come here. After this foolishness, we'll rush back to the IMF and the World Bank and say that we are broke, our nation has gone down. Therefore, it's not our fault. It's the previous to the time government that smoked Bonto whilst it was in office. Oh, the other one was running diarrhea, so we sat on the WC for too long, so the economy went bad. For that matter, give us money and saddle our children and children's children in debt. Are we okay? Who created us? The devil. God doesn't create low quality cocoa beans like us. We are not even thankful for quality cocoa beans. We want the bad one so that we can sell it quickly. We are looking at quantity, not quality. What a people. Only Satan will create a people like that. It's the black pot, aka Cocoa Show no more. When we return, we will be talking more. Send your comments in, like the broadcast, and do me a big favor. Please share the broadcast. Hey! Wayo!
Blakk Cocoa Show.
Hey, did you see that quote? Did you see it? When the people are so mediocre, like us, where we know about football more than we know about our human rights. When we scream the loudest for a goal during a football match, rather than when we sing our patriotic songs. When we demand from our football players like the day Ayew and Jordan and ask them to be sacked as a Bojan, go, rather than when we are supposed to be pulling down our bad leaders and demanding from them what we are supposed to be demanding. Watch it. Valerie Piolet. A people overwhelmed by mediocrity. Overwhelmed. You know what that means? Overwhelmed. You are inundated. You are cacophonized. You are emblazoned. A people overwhelmed by mediocrity condemns itself to failure and misery when they know more about football than their own rights. When they scream louder for a goal than for an injustice. Let the Black Stars score a goal, or let their European teams score a goal, it's like there's an earthquake in Ghana. Whoa! Somebody can open his mouth as loud as the Caspian Sea. He doesn't care how many flies enter there. He is so excited. But when there's injustice meted out to a brother and a sister, mom is the word. Are we not cursed? Think about it, brethren. That is what the court is saying. And when they demand more from a player like the Ayew is too old for the Black Stars. His head is even Sakura. He can't even run. He's running as if he has a choke. Jordan cried, we want him out. Yet, Nanado is sitting down there doing all these disgraceful things. Baumia is going around telling you all these lies. All these dirty leaders are there. You are not demanding from them accountability. You love your football more than you love your nation. That's not patriotism. That's what we're talking about, brethren. The other day, just over the weekend, at the mall, what's that mall called? West Hills Mall. This old man met me. He told me that he was from England, Ghanaian, but he's lived his life, all his life in England. And that he had come home to live his last life and die here. Because it was his father who told him that it was a curse for him to be buried outside. He should come home. So they have turned Ghana into what? A graveyard. Any foolish Ghanaian who leaves the country because of one reason or the other and travels out of the country, betraying his own nation. I'm not saying every Ghanaian who travels out is in the same vein. No. There are some Ghanaians who are out there on contract making money for the nation. There are some who are out there working very hard to make money and come and build some. They have good minds and good hearts. I'm talking about those who have sold out their nations and they have gone to live there and they are cursing their nation every day. They are those I'm talking about. Yet when they die, they curse the nation. They never want to come here. When they are about to die, they want to be buried here. And when they die, they want to be brought here. They have turned here into a graveyard. My brother, they have turned this country into a graveyard. The old man approached me, and that's what he told me. He told me, I've been watching you. He said, people like you, it's only 4 or 5 that are created every generation. I'm happy I've met you. But my brother, like you, when I was your age, I was determined to see this country work. Then tears started running down them. Old man. I couldn't take it. Before I realized, tears were also running down my eye. He said, my brother, I tried. Look, there were people who gathered. Because the old man was weeping. They wanted to find out if I had hurt the old man or had whatever it was. They were coming around. Those of you who were at the West Hills Mall on Sunday and saw that thing happen. He was weeping. He said, like you, when I was your age, I tried. I did everything to see this country rise. I was so much in love with my nation. But when I finished school and got the right grace and everything, and decided to work for a company, the day I went for the interview, there was a white boy, my brother, who was also interested in the job. He didn't have my qualification. He hadn't gone to the university. I had gone to the university, one of the pioneers of our university. They put me aside and took him because of his skin color. I was never able to recover from that. I left the nation and I went to the white boy's country to serve him more because I had given up. That's what the man told me. Gave me many other instances. About 15 minutes when we spoke to about 20 minutes, we gathered the whole crowd. Some were taking videos. Soon you will start seeing the videos. Taking videos. Honestly. When I told the old man I had to go, he tapped me, embraced me, and said, I pray that the energy that I didn't have to be able to contain the disappointment, you will have it. I pray that I should at least live to see a bright sign of change in our country. But he told me, do not hesitate. If it becomes too much, don't break your neck. Leave. On my way back, the tears kept running. I thought about what the old man said. And I kept telling myself, no retreat, no surrender. No retreat, no surrender. No matter what, it's our nation. If we don't build it, who's going to do it? Some will fight and run away. But some others will stay and fight until death. Like Kwame Nkrumah did. Nkrumah had the chance to live in China. He had a chance to live in Europe. But he decided to choose Africa, where he wasted all his life in sickness. At the end of the day, he died in a hospital in Romania. We shall fight on. Any which way, we are going on a patriotism tour, and we need you to support us. Our numbers are rolling on the screen. You can send us Momo. It doesn't matter how much you send, even if it is 20 pesos. We appreciate you. That's all you can give. And some of the names, when I saw some of them send 50 CDs and all that, and I looked at the names, some of them I could even recognize from this class. My prayer was that God empower these people. If they had it, I'm sure they would take over the whole thing. They would even come and join. Don't ever underestimate what you can give. It will go a long way. It's our nation. A lot of us could have decided to walk away, like some others did. I am sure I could have continued being in America lecturing and making some good money and eating ice cream, pancake, and pizza. I could have lived in Italy. I could have lived anywhere. But it's not my calling. Who is going to stay and keep the gates for you when you return? Let us be the watchmen. Let's take care of the nation so that we open the gates when you arrive and salute you and say, welcome home. It's the Black Pot, a.k.a. COCOBOD, where we speak truth to power. Next one, my youth. Nigeria offers prayers for economy. When I saw it, I went out there asking to dig a grave and just bury myself. Look at this. It's like those people who went to the Galamsey side. Hey, ba 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 ba, ta 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 ba 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 ba, rosha patata hot bara da 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 da. They are praying for Galamsey to stop. Where common sense leaves us, we overburden God. God says that he will never overburden his creature. He's giving you common sense to be able to control some things. Things that God has given you common sense to do. You are still running to God. It's like your son. You know that he can do A, B, C, D. You empower him to do that and he keeps running after you. You call him stupid son, get away, idiot. God has said that to a lot of us in Ghana, in Nigeria, and some part of Africa. Stupid creatures, get away. Fools, idiots. God gets angry when he gives you all the power to use your brain. You are still behaving like a robot. Look at the robots. They are calling on who? Run the story. Maybe we got the story wrong. And this is from Star. It says, Nigerians offer special prayers over troubled economy. Some Nigerians on Wednesday offered prayers over what they described as the country's worsening economic situation. Muslim traders in Nigeria's biggest textile market, Kantinkwari, in Kano, came out of their shops to pray on the streets, saying they need God's intervention on the economy. One of the shop owners, Hamis Usani, told the BBC that the situation has become unbearable for many as feeding is now a major problem for them. we offer this special prayer so that God can help us, because we don't know what our leaders are doing about this. That's the economy. A bag of rice and sugar are now out of reach for a poor person. We want God to help us, he said. In recent years, food prices have been on the rise across Nigeria. The situation was made worse as a result of the impact of government policies, such as the removal of subsidies on petrol. Dash it. And this is from the BBC. Why do you keep embarrassing us like this? Why? The white man, he doesn't go to pray for the economy to grow. He looks at the supply and demand curves. He looks at the rudiments of economics. He implements that. Takes away all those who are stupid and bring people with common sense to deal with the economy. Not liars. Not blacksmiths who claim they are Adam Smiths. So that our nation can develop. Write this down. Baumia was a blacksmith who lied to us that he was an Adam Smith. Baumia was a blacksmith who lied to us that he was an Adam Smith. That's it. So we keep praying for things that God has already given to us. All we need to do is to take a step and grab that. We embarrass God every day. God becomes ashamed of us every day. I will be ashamed of a son that I bring forth too. Every time he goes out, he gets beaten up and he has to call his father to go and fight for him. Meanwhile, you have built your muscles. I have given you good food and common sense to be able to build your muscles and fight for yourself. That's what is happening in Nigeria. A nation of dirty leaders with no common sense. All they are interested in is 419, stealing from each other, crippling each other. All they are interested in is killing each other in religious wars. All they are interested in tribal wars. People from the north are better than people from the south. People from the east are better than people from the west. My son will never marry somebody from the east. My daughter will never marry somebody from the north. Such foolish talks. Such foolish people. He's sad. Who created us? It's Lucifer. Because the Bible says, oh, how good and how pleasant it is for God's people to live together in unity. It's like a precious ointment upon the head and the beard. On the head of Aaron, all the way down his beard and onto his garments. God loves everybody. Underline it, everybody. That is why he gave everybody a gift of life. This is the book of Psalms. Read it. Every little thing, water you have to drink, you have to call upon God. Huh? To wash your own clothing, you are calling God to come and wash it for you. Who created you? The devil. Dash it away. When we return, we'll spend a few more minutes and I'll be done. We will also be reading your messages. Come here. Hey! Wayo! Arise, Ghana youth, for your country. The nation demands your devotion. Oh, Jesus. Well, we'll reach there. Please donate what you can and leave the rest for the Most High. Be part of this and be proud of it. To God be the glory. Let your messages flow. Timothy 0 says, greetings, Blakk Rasta. I'm watching you live from Wa. Blessed one. Any boy says, welcome back, Blakk. Nabong Pyramid says, good evening, Blakk Rasta. Watching you live from the countryside. Tumu, with my friend, Vibration King. Blessed love. Nana Sika the second says, big ups to you, Blakk Rasta. Mohammed Banjia 1 says, it's Monday, and the Black Pot is here to light the week. Preach on, legendary Blakk Rasta. Run the story, my youth. Come here. You think say you day wise. Wayo. MC Scorpion inside a shy man. Mirror says, hey, wayo. Now Bomb Pyramid says, tribesmen or idiots. Asima Banda says, welcome Blakk Rasta for another week. Wayo. Gosway Jata says, live in Kumasi. Come here. Wayo. Odum says, Black Pot is back. Odum says, fire. Faisal Nuruddin says, Assalamu alaikum. Wa alaikum salam wa rahmatullahi ta'ala wa barakatuh. Kaifa halik, ya Faisal. Blakk Rasta, come here. How are you doing today? Wayo. Godwin Donu Buffalo says, I'm here live today watching you from Stidrot Dovhos, Holland in Israel. I know I didn't pronounce it well. Forgive me. I do enjoy your shows offline and happy to be live today. Ras Millian says, greetings, big man. Ghana, oh Ghana, Ngasize Ghana, Ghana, oh Ghana, what's really going on in Ghana? Will Ghana hit back on track? I hope and pray that your struggles of waking us up will not go in vain. Nothing shows bright future. Well, I see a bright future in you. And I see the bright future in all of us. Things are changing. The youth are coming out to strongly say, hey, Wagwan, we need a change. At least no soldier is shooting and killing us as they used to do. At least things are changing. We need a radical explosion of change. Francis Ampim says, Jagaidio and your crew are most excited to be in class today, and it's all about patriotism. No one is bigger than the truth. Wayo, dash it. Next one, Zacha Emmanuel says, good evening, Godfather, watching you live from Wusuta, Governor. And Mark Hendrick says, pick up yourself, Blakk. Wade Adams, long time no see, says, Blakk Rasta, greetings to you. Patriotism is the only lasting solution to all our problems. If I am to be president for one day, I will create a portfolio for Minister of Civics and Patriotism for you. Well, we have said it time and again. Kwame Logos says, more fire, Blakk. Oyo. Who knows? Kudwazi says, may you stay long, Blakk Rasta. Anytime I watch you, I learn more. Kwame Logosu says, wisdom is knowing your way back home when the road to your supposed destination seems blurry and detrimental. For it takes a fool to trade their birthright for what they want. Wade Adam says, instead of chasing out the thieves in government, you are here wasting time. Do the right things before praying. You will see God's intervention. Wow. To God be the glory. Ghana shall prosper. Next story. We're going to run fast. Running mates, how important in Ghana? Now we have so many people who want to be president of this nation. Baumia is there, Mahama is there, Kofi Kurantin is there, Sheda is there, and, you know, Alain Chiramatin is also there, Kofi Akpalu, and the rest, ODK and the rest, they are all there. But how important is the vice president to the president, the running mate? Now, the running mate is very important. He's supposed to be able to keep his president on track. Remember that he becomes president automatically in the absence of the president. Therefore, when you are choosing a vice president, a running mate, you must choose somebody who shares the same vision with you, Don't choose a weakling that you can climb over. Choose somebody who can stand up to you and tell you that this is not right. Above all, put patriotism first. Nana Akufo-Addo said he chose this man as his running mate because of his geographical location, one, and the fact that he's a brilliant guy. We haven't seen the brilliance. We only saw the geographical location. But even with that, how many people in his geographical location are happy with him? The Zongos are all not happy because there hasn't been any development. Very little, to be fair. My brother, my sister, to choose a vice president or a running mate, remember that you are also choosing the president. When he's not around, that's going to be your president. Don't just choose because of geographical positioning. Don't just choose because of ethnicity. Choose first and foremost because of the brain. Choose because of ideals and ideologies. Choose because of patriotism. Anybody who sells out his vote to any politician is a mummy, stiff and cold. My brother, let's see our nation grow. Let's wear our coats of patriotism. Let's think about Ghana. Let us look for running mates who will not win us elections, but running mates who have the common sense. In our country, we are looking for running mates who will win us elections. We are not looking for running mates who can do the work. Who agrees with me? Write it down. In Ghana, presidential aspirants are looking for running mates who can win them elections. Not running mates who are patriotic towards the nation and can do the work. My brother, if a monkey will win them elections, they will choose the monkey as the running mate. How many of you agree? Today, if a certain powerful deity that we all believe in one way or the other, tells us that a goat as the running mate of this party will help the party win, you'll be shocked that they'll go and bring a goat and say, this is the running mate. And Ghanaians will gladly vote for the goat because they believe in the deity. So when the president dies, your next president is His Excellency, Mr. Aponchin Goat. Aponchin Pombe. Apapon. Dash it. A word to the wise is in Cape Coast. Next word. Yana delivers ancient wisdom to Mahama. Mahama traveled all the way to meet the Yana. The man who is followed by bees everywhere he goes. You've seen that, right? When he was invited to some events, bees followed him. You can imagine if you attack such a man, he would only unleash the bees on you. I wish that the bees could be unleashed on the Galamseyers. Yana, with all love and respect, release your bees on the Galamseyers. Release your bees on the corrupt leaders. When they sting them, you will be wise. You all see him. Everywhere Yana goes, bees, a swarm of bees, follow him. People are scared running. It's power. I wish those bees could be sent to deal with the Galamsey people and the dirty people in power. Mahama visited him, former president, and what did he tell him? Run it, my youth. Bawumia is your brother. Avoid petty name calling and bitterness. The overlord of Dagbon, Yana Abubakari Mahama II, has admonished former President John Dramani Mahama to recognize Vice President Dr. Bawumia as a brother and not an enemy. This, according to Yana, will ensure a clean campaign ahead of the 2024 general elections. devoid of petty name calling. Dash it away. Now, Yana is talking to Mahama like this because Mahama is older than Baomia. In the north, you talk to the elder person, and put all the blame on him and the responsibility. What Baomia has done to Mahama, to the point that Mahama would dress like a Muslim, go to a Maulid to address Muslims, and he will call him Malam John and tease him right there. Is that how to convert people? Called him the incompetent Mahama. And it became Muhammad's tag, a tattoo. That Mahama lost it just because of that. There are some names you call some people, and those names will stick for life. You agree with me? I'm glad Yana said this, but he's giving him ancient wisdom. And the ancient wisdom is that the elder one should always take the blame. The elder one must be the fool. Whatever the little ones say, just gloss over that so you can have peace. I'm glad Yana said this. Apart from that, Baumia is a Mamprusi man. He has his lineage all the way inside the Dagbong and all that. In fact, Mamprusi is older than Dagomba. But they are the same brothers from the same father. How about the Gonjes? The Gonjes and the Dagombas fought so much in the past. The Gonjes are part of the Guans. Their language is very, very different from the Dagomba people. You understand? But they live in the same area. Because of that, they have intermarried and even given lands to each other. Now some Dagomba lands are Gonja lands and some Gonja lands are Dagomba lands. Dagomba lands become Gonja lands become Dagomba lands. What is more brotherly than this? Thank you so much, Yana, for this wisdom. And God continue to bless you and increase you in wisdom. Dash it and bring me the last story. We have a big funeral. We want to announce it. The best reggae bassist in the world has passed on. ASTON FAMILYMAN Barrett. Oh, Jesus. Feel it in the wardrobe. The bass that you hear driving Bob Marley's music was composed by this man. To the point that he even helped Bob Marley compose some of his songs. That's Bob and Barrett. They worked together until Bob Marley died in 1981. Look at them. They started young. FAMILYMAN died over the weekend at the age of 77. At a point, he had to war with the Marleys. The kind of friendship he had with Bob Marley, he was the Wailers band leader. He made sure that the band rehearsed at the right time and he controlled everything to perfection. Band leader. Hey, you're not playing it right. You got to do it like this. You got to do it like that. ASTON FAMILYMAN Barrett. And his brother was on the drum. Carlton Barrett. His brother was shot and killed in Jamaica. And he too fell ill for so many years and died at 77. In fact, at a point he was so poor, no money, nothing. He had to go to court and try and see if he would make some money out of the recordings he did with Bob Marley. But the court refused everything. He and Rita Marley had a big fight over and over to the point that in some of the court sessions he was almost speaking against Bob Marley. He said all Bob Marley was interested in was football. He was the musician behind Bob Marley. And he would call Bob and force him to sit down and compose music. But Bob only wanted to be a footballer. Music was almost like a hobby, but football was a bigger hobby. He said it in court. And he was trying to convince the court on how he helped Bob Marley compose. He will have a new bass line, play it and tell Bob, well, this is a new bass line I have. You know, can you compose something around this bass line? And of course, those of us who know music, we know that that's an integral part of the making of the music. He was frustrated all his life after he went to court. He was banned from taking the matter to any court in the world again. And he fell out with the Marleys for good. He died in his bed, very cold and quiet. But he was called a family man because he had officially 41 children, but unofficially 57 children. One man, power. He was busy not only with the base, but his waist was actually powerful. ASTON, FAMILYMAN, BARETT'S. Rest in peace. Continue playing the bass yonder there. We love you and we appreciate you for your talent. We love you for everything you've given to us in terms of reggae. I'm sad I couldn't work with you before you passed on, but the spirit lingers on. Dash. Final comments and we are done. Final comments and we are done. Godwin Donu Buffalo says Modibo Keita. You're correct. Faisal Danaba says watching you live from Boku at the 15 Boku Naba Palace. Alaji Sedu Sulemana Kuluga Abagre Nasherga II. Powerful. Tom Poe says nice to see you again. Rasta, bless the love. And he said, but why are you not on Facebook again? Well, as I responded, the numbers on Facebook did not encourage us that much. So we felt that you like the YouTube more. Yeah, you want to get back on Facebook? We can always do that. It's been the Blackpot, a.k.a. COCOBOD. And here we speak truth to power. I love you and I appreciate you. It's been a beautiful Monday. Welcome to yet another brand new week. Hey! Wayo!